Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. As always, just raise your hand if you have a question for Chris, and we'll go ahead and get started. Tyler Donahue.
Hey, Chris, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing well. You guys have new specialists in roles that they haven't done before, and now that you've got them in game action, what's the confidence level like in that specialist room? Because you answered the bell on the road against Purdue.
Yeah, very confident. I think we've always been confident. Leading up to the fall camp and all summer long, we had competition. And I think that's what made us all better. And obviously, you saw that with how Barney played, and Jake, and Sander, and Gabe. I think we all, contributed how we wanted to, and now we're going to continue to move forward with that.
Elton Hayes.
Hey, Chris, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Hey, you're stepping to a new guy in Barney. I wanted to just see, what did you think of his debut, and what's it like having him back there, and what's he kind of meant to the special teams unit and to the team overall?
Yeah, it's fun having him back there. Obviously, Barney's got an extreme personality. It's always positive. I think he brings that positive energy to not only our special teams unit, but to our team as a whole. I thought he did really well. Looking forward to seeing him continue to do well. Obviously, he was just added to the Ray Guy Award watch list for the best punter in the nation. So I think he just needs to continue to improve and continue to get better. And we'll see how the season goes.
Ben Jones.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Ben?
Good. I'm good. I wonder, what is the helplessness quotient for a long snapper over the course of the game? I mean, you go out there and have an important role on special teams, but then there's a lot of time where you just sort of like go, and now what do I do with my hands? I mean, what is it like to go through a game as a long snapper from the standpoint of you are part of the team, but also at the same time, your biggest job is to just not make a mistake in the few moments when you get out there?
Yeah. The perfect way to put it is my job is to do the best that I can to put Barney, put Jake, in the best position to succeed. And it's also my job not to be known by anybody. People should not know my name, because if they know my name, that means I'm doing something wrong. But as for the sidelines, really, I'm just kind of staying loose, encouraging, offense and defense to continue to do their jobs. Just kind of walking up and down the sideline, maybe get on the bike occasionally just to kind of stay loose. But really, it's just my job to go out there, be consistent, and let Barney and Jake do their jobs.
Tyler Donahue.
We got to take a few looks at practice during preseason, but not a lot, not enough to know what happened with the kicker competition. Can you kind of describe from your vantage point on what Jake did to put himself in a spot to win this job, and also how Sander has reacted to the obvious letdown of not taking the job?
I think both guys competed with each other, all summer, all fall camp. It's a grind. It's a long season. Jake being a 3-year starter, started here the freshman, sophomore, junior, was able to redshirt last year. I think they both went in with the proper mindset of, we're doing this, we both want this job, but we're also trying to get each other better. That's what competition does. It brings out the best in all of us. So I think both Jake and Sander did a tremendous job. Jake's leadership, his experience obviously has led to him winning the job, and I think that he deserves it. But I also think that Sander is really pushing him, and I think Sander's going to be a great kicker for years to come. But Jake did his job, and obviously Sander was doing his job on kickoffs as well. So they're both doing extremely well. I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Daniel Gallen.
Morning, Chris. We got to talk to the rest of the captains last week, and I just wanted to get your reaction to being named team captain, that experience. We saw the video that Penn State put out of you on the phone. What was that whole thing like last week?
Yeah, it was a tremendous honor. It's the biggest honor anybody can get. Being voted on by your peers to lead them. I was at a loss for words when Coach originally told me, and it's kind of surreal, especially when I called my mom, and she was so happy for me, and called my dad later the day. And it was just a tremendous honor. I can't wait to, continue to lead these guys in the best way that I can, live in our core values and setting that example both on and off the field.
Ben Jones.
Chris, I know that you are obviously focused on the season at hand, but I think being a long snapper is interesting because a lot like quarterback and some other positions, there's only so many of them in the league at any given moment. If you're a defensive tackle, there could be a couple hundred of you, but you're in a sort of a unique position that there's only so many. How do you kind of approach what is next for you from the standpoint of preparing and also from the standpoint of kind of embracing, you might only have so many football games left that you're going to be a part of?
Yeah, I think I'm just, taking it one step at a time. I'm focused on Ohio and snapping as best as I can for Ohio and, helping Barney, continue to bomb punt, Jake continue to make field goals. I think that's really the only thing that's on my mind right now is, preparing this week for Ohio, and I'll let the rest of it take care of itself.
John Petishnock.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Appreciate the time.
Morning.
Building on the aspect that you're a team captain, you've been around for a while, the overall confidence level of this team, just going back to Thursday, if that's okay, when Purdue's got the ball left with 5 and 6 minutes and change, the defense has to get a stop. The offense is going to have to go down and get a score. What's the confidence level like on the sideline that the players are going to step up and do what they need to do?
Confidence level is extremely high. We have all put in the work that we needed to this offseason, this fall, and this is kind of our first opportunity to show what we're capable of, especially on the offensive and defensive side. Obviously Sean's 6 years as well, so we were extremely confident in what he was going to do on that last final drive, but also our defense up front, super strong with PJ, team, and Nick Tarbert. They're all doing what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to give us the ball back. And I think obviously me, the other captains, we had tremendous confidence in ourselves and our sides of the ball, what we were going to do.
Tyler Donahue.
Stacy Collins told us that he thought Alex coming in as a freshman could do kickoffs, could do punting, could do a few things. He didn't travel with you, but can you give us kind of a scouting report on what you've seen from the freshman since he arrived on campus and how he can help this specialist room now and moving forward?
Yeah, Alex has done very well. It's always kind of that weird moment where you're not in high school anymore. You're kind of still getting used to college and getting used to the speed of it, and just kind of getting in your routine. Alex did very well, all summer when he was here and during fall camp, and I think he's working towards where he needs to be. But obviously, as a freshman, it's kind of just need a little bit more time. But I think his future is very, very bright. Not only as a punter, but a kickoff guy and potentially a field goal guy as well, but just very excited for him in his future.
John Petishnock.
Hey, Chris, just wanted to get your thoughts. What's it going to be like to be back at Beaver Stadium on Saturday? James and everyone's made a big deal about opening on the road so often. So getting back at Beaver Stadium in front of the hometown fans, what's that feeling going to be like on Saturday? It's
going to be very, very, very special. Not only for our team, because we love playing in front of our fans, but for me personally, knowing that I don't believe I have any eligibility left, so this will be the last home opener for me. So I'm just gonna take it all in, enjoy the moment, and then get back to playing football and doing the things we know how to do.
Tyler Donahue.
Gabe, I think, is going to attract a lot of attention the more games he plays. Doesn't look like your average specialist, as you know. Can you tell us a little bit about his presence and just having someone that with that physical mold in your room launching the ball off his foot? What does it maybe do for you all?
Yeah, it's different than your typical specialist that you see. But Gabe, although he's very quiet, I don't know if you ever talked to him, he's very quiet, but he puts in the work that's necessary. He really is a master of his craft. He's working every day or kickoffs, punts, to put himself in the position that he needs to be either this year, next year, whenever it may be when his number is called. Obviously, this year he's doing very well on kickoffs, and I think he's going to continue to do well. But as a punter, he's bombing punts. He's doing everything he needs to do to prepare himself.
Anything else for Chris? Go ahead, Tyler.
You guys had some big shoes to fill in those gunner roles this year. I know Coach Collins likes to call those bullets. What did you see from those guys in game one, and what do you think about the roster's ability to produce some of those kind of athletes that are required for a gunner position?
Yeah, the beautiful thing about coming here to Penn State is we have athletes that can run, and they're super, super fast, a lot faster than me. But I thought Day Hardy, played extremely well, had that amazing tackle, pinned him down with that 8 or 9. And I think all of our bullets, we rotate a few. I think they're doing a really, really good job. Continuing to build off, the success that we've had in the past couple of years, Drew Hartlaub and Jacinta. So I'm excited to see how the season continues to go. And, this Saturday against Ohio, I think our bullets are going to do very well.
Go ahead, Daniel.
After the game on Thursday, Barney talked about how having that experience of, sitting behind Stout last year, watching him going on the road really prepared him for Thursday. From the time Barney arrived last year, how have you kind of seen his development from, being the FCS transfer to, starting on the road in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think his growth has been tremendous. He's always been a confident person, but I think being able to, watch how Jordan was in the game and how he, carried himself on the sidelines, what was his routine. I think Barney picked up a few little, tips and tricks on that. And I think just as he worked all summer long, and especially in spring ball, knowing that he was going to be our guy, kind of took his confidence to another level and took his preparation to another level. I think he's just really prepared himself to show off what he did on Thursday night, and he's going to do that the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.